Okay, so I've given you guys some information to go ahead and start plugging in and setting up your table as far as we were the last time. So your table should look something like this. I'll finish up this outside border. I noticed some little errors as we go through and some changes that I'd like to point out. First off, we can see that these dates are all left aligned, and that's going to be the default because we are working in Excel. That tends to be the default for those. What I'd like to do here is I'm just going to select all of those, and I want those to be just centered. And I can say that I want them centered vertically as well, because if I do change, if I change the row height, it's still going to stay centered where this one is anchored to the bottom. It's just something that will help you later on if you change your formatting. So here are the different items that we put in place here. We can see the description for each of those and income and expenses. So we did a little formatting issue with the date column. I want to do some formatting things with our income and our expenses. So income and expenses are all going to be money. So we know that it's a dollar sign, US dollars. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and highlight those. I'm going to right click on them, and I'm going to do two separate ones. I could do both columns the same, but I'm going to show it to you twice. Go to Format Cells. And remember the number column we had here. We can go down to currency. And what do I want this to look like? Well, if we go negative, we said that we can have it in red and we can have it in parentheses. If we take a look at just the black and with a negative sign next to it, again, it can be confused or it can be overlooked in an audit at some point. I do like to use this red for the negative and keep it in the parentheses. As far as decimal places right now, you can change the number of decimals that you want this to run out to. Obviously, from an accounting standpoint, we're going to be working with dollars and cents. In this case, we're not going to be dealing with cents, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 2 decimal points so that remains more uniform. And you can see what it's done up here. It went ahead and changed that, put dollar signs in front of those. I want to do the same thing with this whole column. The column that I'm selecting here. We'll go to Format Cells, we'll go to Currency, and we'll go to the one we selected before. So we have our table set up here pretty well. Now we're going to have to come up with our totals. We want to know what our profit or loss is going to be. So we can go ahead and just highlight the cells that we are in the column that we want to work with. We're going to go ahead and hit this auto sum function up here, and below that it will put its total. It'll add those two together and put those in there. Now under the auto sum you can see some other things. We can also do an average. Instead of sum, we can auto average. That's going to be the average of this whole column. Now the problem with that is it also puts our $1,400 in with that. So we can kick that out. Let me see if we can kick this out here and kick that one out there. I'll show you what the average looks like, and that gives us the average of those two numbers. We can change that back out again and auto sum it, which is what we're going to be working with. So you have some different options up here in terms of what you can actually classify those as, or what function you want to do. So the other thing we want to do is go ahead and highlight this one here, and we're going to hit the auto sum button. Oops, I hit that one wrong. Let's undo that. I love auto. I could love the undo. I want to go ahead and include all of those and then hit sum. Ooh, oh, it's because it's an empty cell. Sorry. So I'm going to show you guys another way to do that. I forgot, but when you have an empty cell, it wants to put it in the first empty cell. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to show you the way that this function actually works. If we look right here, up here it says sum, and it's going to be F3 colon F7. So from F3 to F7, it's going to be a sum. We can type that in here. So we're going to make this equal the sum, and then we're going to go ahead and say G3, G7, or I can just click on this and highlight that. Okay, if you see what I just did, I'm going to go ahead and back that up again. G3, G6, because it sees that there's nothing there for this one. Let's say I had to go back and change it. I want to make sure that I make it for that entire column. So I'm going to back it up, and we're going to do this again. So I hit sum, and then I'm just going to highlight that whole column. Oop, oh, I just did something wrong. I'm sorry. Let's try this back again. Let's go back to 0. This is going to equal sum of those. Doggone it, I did it again, didn't I? I didn't put it in parentheses. Let's try it again. I'm doing this so that you guys have extra practice. So this is going to equal sum of those there. And that's going to give the sum of the expenses. Okay, so we're going to see our profit and loss. Again, we could put this number right here, which in most accounting, we're going to doing this later. This is more of a bookkeeping kind of a function. From an accounting standpoint, we would put our subtotals over here. But I'm going to go ahead and show you like I had before. I'm going to combine these two cells underneath. I'm going to merge those and center those. And then all I'm going to do is give it a formula. And I'm going to say that this cell, and I hit the equals, our income, and I hit the minus, our expenses. When I hit enter, that's going to come up with our profit or loss. Okay. If I went back in and instead of getting $200, my parents actually, I had $200, but they also charged me for all the things that I messed up while I was working with them, and I got a $1,000 bill at the end of the day. You can see how we went negative here because our income is not as high as our expenses. So, but I'll go back, and my parents decided not to charge me for the things I broke, so come back to being able to make a little bit of money. Final formatting on this, there's a couple ways that you can do it. You can go ahead and put, again, you can put a all borders here and a thick border around both of them. And then finally this last one down here, you put a thick border and you're good to go. If you wanted this to stand out a lot more, you could do some formatting issues with this like we did at the top and make that kind of stand out. But you can see how nice and clean and professional that's going to look for us. One other thing I wanted to show you is we need to be able to identify this this table as what this table is. It's not just section 1. It means something. So if we highlight this open block that's up here and we say merge and center, it's going to make that all one big cell, and in that cell we can say transactions, and this could be August 2016. How about let's do August, September 2016. So do August/September 2016. So then we have a nice title above that. You could put that into a block. I think it kind of stands out a lot better if it's just kind of above that section. Another thing that you might want to do is make that row height a little bit taller and then center that up. Okay, so this is just kind of a way to make sure that your tables look professional. We'll be moving on to section 2 next.